But the show opened and put me on a down note because they were in the middle of a fight between Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. And a big brawl in quotation marks with the referees and a blah, blah, blah. And I wrote, they're seriously going to use her. Refrigerator Jax. And then Raquel came out to make the save and accidentally booted Baszler. And then Rhea came out and got on Nia, and the other girls were fighting Rhea too then, and security came in. They had to pull apart. And I'm thinking, my God, they're going to risk Rhea Ripley against this. Well, she might look like a Sherman tank, but as Tojo Yamamoto used to say about Al Green, maybe he looks more like a septic tank. But anyway, after all that was cleared out, then Rhea does a promo and calls out the Judgment Day because she says, we need to talk. And here comes Priest and Dominic, and I'm like, okay, finally. And they went to the break. And when they come back, Rhea's already in mid-sentence, so somebody jumped the gun on her cue. Either that or they played an extra commercial on my local facility. But she had just apparently gotten something off her chest, although I couldn't see any difference and noticed nothing lacking. But the story here they're telling now, and Brian, help me with this if I miss any of the intricacies and nuances, but there's been no leader in the Judgment Day, but each of them has their own responsibilities, and somebody's got to come up with a game plan. But she's saying she's gone for 2 weeks and the shit has fallen apart. And she left the responsibility to Priest, and apparently he can't handle it. Dominic lost the North American title because Priest wasn't there. And Cody and Jey want the tag team titles. And Rhea is kind of talking down to Damian, and more obvious than ever before, she's the boss of this bunch, right?
And again, she had a baby face. Even though she came out there and got into it with Raquel while attacking Nia Jax, she's the baby face out of all those women. She got the big pop at the end, and then it was right back into this. They said there's no leader of the Judgment Day. She's the leader of the Judgment Day.
Yeah. And she should be. And then Priest, he kind of fired because he's going to eventually be the one, and they're doing the slow bubble, but he's going to be breaking out sooner or later. But he says, screw Cody and Jey and everybody else. I've got my belts and I've got the Money in the Bank briefcase, and where's Dom's belt, And so then Rhea looks at Dominic and she says, hey, I'm mommy and you're poppy, so you better beat Trick in the rematch. See, they're referring to NXT on Raw, which is what they ought to fucking do. Should have been doing more of.
They should do that even when they're not hot-shotting, you're saying?
Yes, because it's all the same company. And the more people that watch these programs, the more money they're going to get for them. So anyway, if he doesn't come home with the belt, he's not supposed to come home. And then Uso's music plays, and Jey comes out and says apparently Rhea Ripley is the new tribal chief and has bigger balls than Roman Reigns. And Priest and Jey go to face, and then Dominic stopped him, and now they're doing the thing where they're just blatantly turning Dominic's mic off. Have you noticed that?
And maybe piping in the booze on top of that, because it was ridiculous.
Well, and honestly, now I don't think they have to pipe the boos because the people know it's a TV thing to do to boo him. But what they're doing is all the crowd microphones where the interview is not being fed to. They got microphones around the ring and microphones in the crowd. They're just bringing that all the way up and turning his mic down. But now you can't hear him at all to the point where you don't know what he's saying. So it's a little much. But anyway, Jey and Dominic face off, and Jey super kicks him. And here comes JD McFunco. And the heels 2-on-1 Jey. And then Cody's music plays, and he hits and make a big save. and the heels bail out, and suddenly Adam Pearce is out there to, God damn it, we're going to have a tag team title match on the pay-per-view, playa. And they booked the tag title match for the pay-per-view in 5 days in that little angle there. And we were 23 minutes into the program at that point.
At this point, it's a relief when Pearce comes out there and doesn't say, I'm booking a match tonight. When at least you have a few days to think about it, it's kind of nice for once.
But again, all that stuff that they did was good, but
they draw everything out.
Taken 23 fucking minutes.
No, they draw everything out. Non-stop. Everything gets drawn out way too long. And now AEW is doing it too. And that's a WWE thing. But this took a while. But the Judgment Day are good. And, Finn wasn't there. And I'm not going to have you say anything bad about JD McFunko. He's, gabba gabba, we accept you, one of us.
Yeah, one of us. One of us.
But, the Judgment Day, this was all top-tier people involved in something. Even the Nia Jax thing. Look, if they're going to use her, the only thing to me in the world that's intriguing is the idea of Rhea Ripley body slamming her. That's the only thing I want to see is Rhea Ripley just fucking kill her in the ring.
Well, now, come on.
So that was a good opening. Metaphorically
you're just calling
speaking.
For violence?
In wrestling, yes. What are you, TBS? You're going to give me a problem by talking about violence?
There's no room for violence in wrestling. So then Chad and Otis and Model Girl wrestled Leonardo da Vinci and Kaiser Wilhelm, and the heels won at least. But now we're 40 minutes into the program.